one is this?
This is the original OG Marlin 60.
OG model.
The OG.
Dude!
Hey, don't say it's too pretty to go take out the pig woods.
Oh my God. I'm gonna say my fans will probably say, leave this at home.
Don't listen to them. Go out there and kill stuff, man.
We knocking heads.
Hey guys, welcome to my channel, JP Guns. I really appreciate you being here. Today on my channel, we're going to restore and refinish David Ellis, the Yawt Yawt, his original Marlin 60. It's been used, it's been abused. He's had it 10 plus years at this point and has never done anything to it except maybe spray it down with Hilco. Anyways, it's in bad shape and it needs a little attention, needs a little help. So that's why he hollered at me, and him being my best friend, I said, man, yeah, I got you. I'll take care of you. So stick around. This is a restoration video. So I'm going to show you how I do it, which may not always be the right way, but that's what I did on this one. So also, I hope you know who your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ is. If you don't, reach out. I'll be very happy to tell you about him. So sit back, enjoy what I put together. Just a normal blued model. It is obviously rusted in some spots. Sights and everything's fine with it. He's got some failure to feed issues going on, or failure to extract. So could be an extractor clause went bad. Could just be this really grimy and filthy. And we will clean this up. I'm pretty sure this receiver is going to be aluminum. I'm going to try to rust blue this this barrel for him, and I'm going to try to refinish this wood. Get it back looking right, because it's exposed. You get a lot of bare wood, and we got some warping. I know you're not gonna be able to pick it up on camera, but the wood's starting to warp in this lamination. And then we will go through it and make sure it's all clean. If this is a Yawt Yawt rifle, guarantee there's bullets in it. Yep. No big deal here. Gun is pretty much on safe because there is an empty hole in it, so no harm, no foul there. So I will start tearing into this guy first, see what we've got going on, and then we will tear into this one. Just mostly get it ready for a clean, because I know it's gonna be hard to find these parts of this. So all right, guys, hope you can see me. Mostly I set up so you can see the firearm on the workbench. I'm going to start taking this gun apart. We will start with the normal stuff, and that's separating the action from the stock, and we'll go from there. We will begin this process. Looks like David has had old Red. I've never met Red. He seems like a really exceptional guy. In fact, I know he is if David keeps company with him. Not saying that because he keeps company with me, because I'm kind of a rascal. But it looks like Red has gotten a hold of this and put some different screw heads in this. And a lot of times these things do strip out. Not nothing crazy here. So it's kind of to be expected. All right, there we go. So with these old Model 60s, the buttstock, there's some cracks going on in there. So maybe you can see. We got some cracks going down through here. We probably can get some dental floss and seal those back up. Either way, we should be able to help Brother Dave out. Not crazy. I mean, this, you can see this gun is well used. It's a part of it. I mean, David, y'all know what he does. So he's going to use that sort of stuff. So we'll go ahead and strip this down. Action's not looking. I mean, it's bad, but it ain't bad. So we'll still need to get these casings punched out. We'll take a look at it. We'll get it figured out, guys. So, all right, continue breaking this down. Okay, guys. To take this apart, I changed the camera angle, and we're going to pull this little pin. It's plastic. This whole thing lifts straight up and out. This bolt buffer, you can see how it's starting to get a little molding imprinting in it. It's looking a little rough, but we still got plenty of time left on it. So it wouldn't be a bad idea to replace this while we got it taken down. Man, this just needs to be taken down and cleaned. Bolt, obviously you saw that I had pressure on it. This just lifts up, like out of that, and then that drops out. So the bolt's looking rough. See with this action spring. Yeah, look at all that carbon in there. Can y'all guys see that? A lot of carbon. Barrel. I don't know if y'all can see that. Look at all that carbon in there. A lot of that stuff we can take, we need to get cleared out with, we can get a drill and some steel wool. We'll get that insert of that barrel going. Let's see what this spring looks like. Honestly, I'm not disappointed, y'all. He uses this stuff, but it's not terrible. You can see how most of it still rolls flat. So we still got a little life on this. I looked, this definitely is aluminum. You will have to knock this sight, this rear seat leaf sight out, and then we'll either take this off. Ooh, look at all that rust. Some rustiness up under there. So some grease, grit, and grime. Gonna be a punch pin right there, and that's how that will come off. And it looks like it just slides out as well. So, oh yeah, bigger one will do. All right, we're going for it, guys. All right, punch straight out. We will use the Mickey Mouse hammer on this. Yep, punch straight through. Big part. Oh, it's so rusty. And some small parts. Put them in some turkey cases. All right, let's back this back out. I'm gonna knock this out. This should just be knocked sideways. Receiver free. Can you see that? That's pressed on. This barrel is so dirty. This is aluminum or some kind of alloy. So we will have to use a Brownells aluminum hide. I've used it before and it looks really good and it does do really well. So we'll get this back. We'll get this sanded smooth because what it does not do, it has that etching in it, so it'll show up all those little dings. So I'm gonna set up on a different angle. We'll get some wood glue in this, be starting this repairing process, and then tomorrow I will start stripping this stock down. I really don't know if you're gonna be able to see any of the ridges, but this wood grain is so raised. It is definitely, this was on this last leg before it was really gonna be too far gone to really do anything cost effectively. So we'll get Yawt Yawt going, and he will be able to use this gun for several more years and be able to put a lot of more rounds downrange on pigs, busting heads, feeding families, doing what Yawt Yawt does. So, all right, guys, what we're going to do is we're going to strip this stock. Be using a combination of acetone. I'm going to rub it down. It'll bubble up, and I'll take sandpaper and I'll scrub this off. If you want to watch those processes, there's other videos on where I do that. We're going to skip out on that one. So next time you see this rifle stock, it will be sanded and the finish will be stripped off. And then we'll start working on repairing this inset or this inlet right here on David Ellis Yawt Yawt's gun. So we'll start repairing that. So stay tuned. All right, guys, you can see we have stripped this stock down. We've done our sanding. We've sanded it all the way to 400 grit. I've turned my tripod light on. We have sanded it all the way down to 400 grit, and it is looking pretty great. Now, what I'll do is I've got 1 and 2, 3 little knot holes I've got to fill in, or maybe not knot holes, but dents, knocks. That's just too much to sand out. So we are moving along on David's gun, the Yawt Yawt. We will get this split on this inset taken care of. We'll have to let that wood glue, and then after that we will start setting our stain. That was just a little progress update for you guys. just because I've been out there. I probably got about an hour and a half of sanding this stock down to 400 grit and get it stripped. So we were going to keep plugging away at this, scratching my eye. We're going to keep plugging away at this, and then we will start the repairs. So I'll check back with you in a moment. Okay, guys, forgive me. We're going to have to get some down on the table shots, and the reason why is because you're not gonna be able to see what I'm doing if I don't do it this way. So I've got a couple of cracks that run lengthways down this inset where the trigger guard and some of these retaining screws go, and that's very important. It is paper thin. And you can see, I don't know, you can see how thin this is. That's probably 1/4 of an inch. It's not thick. What we're going to have to do is we're going to have to take some wood glue. Brand's not important. I normally go with the tight bond. We're going to try to really turn that thing sideways on it, and we're going to try to we're trying to push this in there is what we're really trying to do. So we don't want to get too crazy here because we gotta wipe a lot of this excess off. We just really want to fill this crack in, and that's kind of what we're doing. So we're going to give it a chance to do that by, you can see how I'm working it in. All right. So I've got a little piece of dental floss, and that's just to try to work it in there as best as I can. And we will need to clamp this. Some of this we're just going to edit out, but some of it we're not. We do want to build this. You see that big crack? That's what we're really running right down there. And it matters in places like this. This is where it matters. So if this is giving away and cracking, then it's not doing its job, and it's holding this in place. As you can see, we've run that lengthways. Now we're going to flip it. We're going to do the same side. We're really just trying to find that crack, and you can see it's kind of bled through, so that's kind of the goal here. And we're just going to we're just trying to get it in there, guys. This is the only way we're going to save it right now while we can. Because if we don't, we'll be getting a new rifle stock. And I don't know if you priced a Boyd stock lately, but they're about $250, maybe more if you get higher premium upgrades to it. You can tell where there has been some water damage, and we've got looks like a little dry rot, but this should be able to salvage it, cripple it along just enough that we can get this gun back in service. So this is pretty good, and all I'm doing is I'm just trying to make sure the corners aren't caked up, because we still got to get that action worked in. But we want to give as much of a surface area as we really can. And we're also providing a layer of waterproofing protection, which will matter. I think we're good on this back side. Let me get some clamps, and we will clamp her down. Now watch. Look at all that stuff squeezing out. That should do us right there. All right, guys, we're gonna let that sit. We're gonna let that bake, and this repair should be finished as far as that goes. I know it's got a 24-hour cure time. All right, guys, taking the clamps off, give a quick look, and then we're gonna start into the pre-stain conditioner portion of this. Looks like our fix is going to be, it's going to suffice. Everything is where it needs to be. Everything's smoothed out. I like what I'm seeing. Everything looks good. So what I'm going to do is, I have a red mahogany stain. I think it's going to be a little too light, but I want the red tint in it. And then I have ebony, which is a dark one. I've used it. So I'm going to blend a little bit of the two together, and I'm going to make my own stain, or make my own color. And I think I'll get the darkness, Plus I also get the red tint and the red hue, which is what I'm actually looking for. So I'll get this mixed up, and then we'll start applying our stain. But before that, I'm going to do a wood conditioner, and all that's going to do is really make the wood grain in this really stick out. So that's the goal here, is we want to accent this beautiful laminate stock. So we are going to enhance the wood grain to do that. Go ahead and pre-stain it, and then we will start the stain process, okay? Okay, this is to just showcase that pre-stain, what that does. That brings that really to, enhances that wood grain so much, which is so important when you want to showcase the beauty of a wood stock. So give me about 10 more minutes, and then I'll start applying a stain to that. Okay guys, 15 minutes, we wiped it off. Now what we're about to do is we are about to apply our stain, which I had mixed two stains. Wanted a darkness in one, but also wanted a little bit of a red tint in the other. So I have a red mahogany stain. I think it's gonna be a little too light, but I want the red tint in it. And then I have ebony, which is a dark one. I've used it. So I'm gonna blend a little bit of the two together, and I'm gonna make my own stain, or make my own color. And I think I'll get the darkness, plus I'll also get the red tint and the red hue, which is what I'm actually looking for. I have a 1:1 mix ratio. So what we're going to do is we're going to start applying this stain. So we will start high, work our way low, and we'll just work our way around. Okay, initial thoughts on this is, I think it looks really good. It usually makes it a whole lot lighter. I'm glad I went ahead and went darker. We will definitely be doing a second application, because I do want this dark, because, well, it just, in my mind, it looks a little better being dark with the dark blue metal accents that we're going to do, nearly black. So let's give this a couple of hours to let this stain absorb in, and I'm going to start working on the receiver. I've got to paint the receiver, and it's not just a standard paint. It's going to be an alumihide, which is a really thick enamel-based paint, and it really adheres to surfaces really well. So let me go hang this, and then we will start on my tailgate, and I'll give you an idea of what we're doing. All right, guys, what we're about to do is we're about to start stripping this receiver. What I've got is an epoxy, a paint and epoxy remover. It's supposed to strip this stuff pretty well. You're dealing with kind of fumes like that, you want to be outside, and so that's why we're outside. What I'll do is I'll put this on here and stripe it on, and then I'll move the camera to where you can see me do that. Okay, so here I am doing this. I don't know if this is going to come out thick, but we're going to try to, yep, all right, so it is kind of thick. So we're going to get us a little bit, and we're going to brush it on. Yeah, it looks like a little goes a long way, which I guess I'm glad about. Getting all this removed. It looks like all you do is strip it on, or paint it on, and then you let it sit for 15 minutes, and it'll break up this receiver. And then we'll have to do the rest with elbow grease. All right, guys, I can already tell this definitely worked. I wish I would have put the what am I trying to say, the time-lapse mode on this. I can tell this is definitely coming off. Yeah, way easier. That's what it's supposed to look like. I'm feeling that aluminum alloy, or some alloy of sorts. We're getting most of this off. Let's get on this, really, that's just goop.
Look at that. That has to have been satisfying. I know it was for me. I am impressed with this. I am not even gonna lie. All right, what I'll do is I'm gonna take a steel toothbrush, and I'm going to finish this off, because this is all it's gonna take. Maybe I'll take a brass brush. I really don't want to mar any of this finish, so there wasn't a lot going on with it. You can see most of it's removed. Not disappointed. We'll be doing this again, definitely. All right, guys, we spent a long time, at least maybe 2 hours, getting this part prepped. Just a receiver. Thank goodness it ain't nothing else. It has been cleaned. All the paint has been stripped off of it. This is like some kind of aluminum alloy. I don't know for sure, but it does look like aluminum. What I did was I stripped the paint off, and then I took a brass brush and I finished scraping it off. And in the corners is where it was the most tedious. I went ahead and cleaned on the inside. In these corners, I had a hard time reaching, and it'll be okay, because it's not like that stuff really matters. So just look past that. But where it does matter is on the outside of this feed, this feed ramp, or whatever I'm trying to say. And it does matter on this side as well. So this has been washed in acetone, and it has been wiped down with naphtha. This is a clean part. I will not be touching this with my fingerprints ungloved until it dries and hardens. Next, we're about to put alumahide on it, alumahide 2 actually, and we're going to paint this. So I will set up the tripod outside and we will start that. All right, guys, you can see my makeshift paint. Here's that alumahide I was telling you about. I've already shaken it up, and one thing I've got is I got my wind coming across, because we're gonna do our best to keep it off of us. So one thing I definitely know you definitely want to do is get a good consistent stream going, like so. So I am about to try to do this front portion first, and then we'll go from there. Okay. I'm letting the wind blow it into it. What my goal is. All right, we done got. Okay, guys. Cure time is 24 hours, and then or we can start handling it in 24 hours. We can actually pick it up and move it around, do what we need to. We can actually start moving this around in about 15 to 30 minutes. It says it dries quicker out in the direct sunlight. We've got a beautiful day. It's perfect for painting. So Brownell's alumahide, semi-gloss black. We should be finished with this before long. So in about 15 minutes, I'll check it and make sure we're good. Otherwise, we will let this cure in the sun for the next couple hours, and then we'll start assembling this hopefully tomorrow. All right, that was about perfect timing. I just finished up painting the alumahide on the receiver. Now we're gonna put our second coat of stain on this, give it 2 more hours, and then we are gonna start sealing. I always love the way they look whenever you first stain them, but they always end up a shade lighter. So that's why I try to do two stains. I may just go ahead and do 3, just to try it out. I really want this to be darker. So I'm gonna hang this up. 2 hours, we'll revisit it. All right, guys, we are finally done with our stain. You can see what it's looking like. We're about where we want to be with this. We know that when we put our sealer on and we start scrubbing with that 4/0 steel wool,
it's really going to tone it down a little bit. It'll be a little bit brighter finish. It would be ideal if it stayed this dark. I just know it's not from experience. So what we're going to do is we're going to put that sealer in, and we have to put that sealer in, guys, because we want to seal this wood grain off. We have to seal this wood grain off, and the reason why we do is because, one, David's rough on guns. That's just the way it is. It's a tool, and that's what it's supposed to be. It is a tool, and you are supposed to use them. But we want to keep all the water and the exclusion out. We want to exclude all the water, all the oil that he may, because he'll spray stuff down with Hilco as needed. We want to keep that stuff out of this wood grain, because this wood grain is porous and it will absorb it. I have a spider crawling on my arm. He went down my leg. All right, whatever. Wish he would leave me alone. We have got to seal it before we can put a finish on it. So we got to close this open wood grain so it will not absorb anything else, including water or oil. So that's what we're about to do. It's about a 3 to 4 minute process to where I just take some sealer and saturate this whole gun stock. We're making a protective layer on this. And then I will take 4/0 steel wool, and I will smooth it all to one gloss-like surface, and that's when we'll put the finish on. We'll do that in a few layers. So I will go ahead and put this on, and you will see it in about an hour, because that's how long it takes to dry. And then we will start. I'll show it to you, and then I'll take it back down to the actual where it needs to be at, and then we will finish it. So doing that now. All right, guys, we have given it an hour. This sealer is on. It's not really stuck to the stock. I mean, it is, but we've got to get a lot of lines. We need to take this back down to right before you get to the wood grain. So we got to make this all one smooth surface. So how I'll do that is I'll take 4/0 steel wool, and I will literally rub this into our stock until we get there. And like I said, all I'm doing is sealing this. I'm making this one solid surface, sealing these wood pores, and well, it's just going to take a lot of effort and a lot of energy. So I will check back up with you guys when this is finished, and I'll show you the finished work. Oh, my forearms and my shoulders and my fingertips are absolutely on fire. I went down this whole stock, taking off that sealer down to the wood grain to where it's all one even surface. All this until now, all this wood grain's been closed. There's a couple of spots that I got to add a little more sealer, but it won't take me going over this whole thing. 3 of these full steel wool pads turned into dust, and I'll show you on the table here in a minute. I first started on the table, but you can see I've got it all on my floor. It's all over my little hairy legs. Sweat collects on you. You can see that dusty soot. That's all that steel wool. My skin's itching. I feel like I've been playing in the fiberglass, and I'm gonna be honest, I am very tired. I am pleased with how this stock's looking though. I'm glad it didn't get any lighter. I wish it would have stayed a little darker, but it still looks really, really good. And after we get that barrel rust blued, this is gonna marry up perfect to this, and it's gonna look phenomenal. Guys, we are finished with the sealing portion. We've got it the way we want it. We've got this wood grain completely sealed, and we worked it all the way through. Now it's time for the finishing portion of this video. And I have Virtual Casey's True Oil. Not a plug for this product, it's just what I know. And I do know that it does do what it's supposed to do. So what you do is you put some on the gun stock, and you just rub it in with your fingertips. I have used a lint-free cloth, and it does work good doing that. But it really is not a big deal, because we're gonna we're going to take steel wool and we're going to sand it back smooth. A lot of times I'll do this 3 or 4 times, sometimes more, and I'll build each microscopic layer up to where it looks like a layer of glass on top of this buttstock. But since this is a legitimate, just a throw in the truck gun, hog killer, we're going to build that layer up, but then we're going to dull it back down with a sheen and stock conditioner. And I may wax it, but I think wax makes it shiny, but it'll also add another layer of protection on this forend. So it'll help out the gun altogether. So long story short, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start applying this. Must have a layer set up on the inside. Nope, that was too much. That is unfortunate. I do that so often. Okay. Let me hang this up. I've got a mess to clean up, and then we will go. We'll keep adding layer and layer on this, and we'll just build this up. And it'll look really good after it's all said and done. So. It's our first coat. I'm about to take steel wool and take this back down to the same layer. That way it can cure. I'm gonna knock off these runs and reapply.
This process was done several times, 5 total times to be exact. Make sure it is smooth and glossy at the end.
Okay guys, we are to the barrel portion. I assume you can see this pitting. What I'll do is I'll take some steel wool and I'll try to clean up. I'll try to clean up some of these steel bulwarks, and we'll just try to figure where our pitting's at. For sure, pitting right there, because we're going to try to fix that. Maybe the light's catching that. Maybe you can see it. So we're going to get this really smooth. We're going to re-blue this, and this will probably be the only thing we need to re-blue. Also, I'm trying to line up everything. All right, I don't know if you can see this, but there, you see that white cake right up in the inside of the barrel? That's probably why David's gun was a failure to extracting, because that's really caked up, and there's a lot of carbon, a lot of burn off built up right there. So what we'll do is we'll also clean this barrel and get these extractor divots to where that extractor claw can settle in there really, really easily, because that's a lot of stuff in there, and it's on both of them. So we will get this cleaned up. We will also get this steel wooled off till we can see what we're working with. And then next time you see, I'll be on the bench and we'll sand out this pitting right here, and then we will start the rust blue process. Okay, long story short, I thought that I had my pit repair. Where's it at? I thought I had my pit repair on camera. I had the angle. I just didn't have it playing. And so what I ended up doing was I started with 220. I've cut little strips of paper, and I went over the pit and widened it out a little bit. Moved to 400, widened it out, and then finished with 600 grit, widened it out. So I took that pit out. It is now gone. You can see I have cleaned the barrel, and I have taken steel wool all the way down it, and now we're left with just bare metal. What I'm about to do now is I am going to go degrease this, which will be a combination of brake cleaner, purple power. I'll brake clean it first, and then it'll be purple power and Dawn. I will scrub it several times in a hot bath, and then I'll wipe it down with naphtha in between each coat. I'll probably do that 2 or 3 times, and then we will start the rust bluing process, and we'll get this barrel nice, dark, and black. So I'm going to go start the cleaning and degreasing process. No sense in watching that.
All right, everyone, parts are clean. They've been wiped down. They have the 0 grease on them. That's what's going to keep this rusting solution from sticking or adhering. We got to build this up layer by layer. We'll be doing this at least 3 times. I'll show you the first time. There's no reason to watch this several times for me, this application. So I've got my rusting solution. This is the American formula. It's from rustblue.com. I've used this on a few guns now, and can't speak highly enough of these guys and how helpful Mr. Bob is over there. He helped me He helped me get started. Want to give credit where credit's due. I'm a YouTuber, a fellow YouTuber here, so I've learned a lot from the YouTube community. So that's where I come across this. Anyway, what we'll do is we're going to saturate our cotton ball. Then we're going to squeeze it all out. I know, sounds counterproductive. So that's just the way it is. We're going to squeeze it all back in the jug. Now what we're doing is called an activation. What we're doing is we're activating this. We need to prime this metal. So how we're going to do that is we're going to put this on and let it absorb for 2 hours. Then we're going to put it on again 2 hours later. Let it sit for an hour at a humid temperature. And then we will, in a humid temperature for about an hour, around 115 degrees. And that would be us actually getting this metal primed. What I would recommend you do is, for sure, pour this out in a container so you don't use as much as I just had to use. All right, long strokes, one direction. And you'll do this a few times, so if you don't get it on the first pass, it'll be okay. All right, so now the tricky part, the barrel. We definitely want to rust blue this in. So now that we've done that, we're going to find us a starting point, and we're going to take it all the way down, trying our best not to overlap. And you'll have some, and it's okay, but as long as you're quick, it'll be all right. All right. Now, we are going to let this rust up for a total of 2 hours. We're going to do this exact same process again for an hour, and then we're going to throw it into our steaming apparatus. Or we'll boil the small parts, but the tall stuff we'll have to put in our steaming apparatus. So stay tuned, because that's coming. All right, guys, 2 hours is up. What we're going to do now is we're going to reapply this rust blue solution, and we are going to put it in a damp box. This is what's going to cause it to rust. We need to initially prime the metal to be able to hold the rust. So we let it get a fine layer of red rust on it, so that could happen. Now we're going to take our cotton ball and we're going to do the exact same thing, and it goes in a damp box for about an hour. We're going to keep it around 115 degrees in there, and also have a wet rag in the bottom of it to create some humidity, because that's very important. You need humidity to be able to get this metal to rust up, because we are rust bluing. So about to put this on. I will show you the damp box, and then we will continue this process of steaming out. We'll continue this process of converting this red rust into black rust, and then we'll cart away all the loose rust, and we'll build layer by layer and make this a jet black barrel and the other parts that we're working on. So, all right, guys, this is my setup. What I've got is I've got a grand wardrobe box in my garage. I also have this little thermometer in here. I'm trying to keep it between 110 and 120 degrees. As you can see, I've hung my parts in, and I've got a little heater in the bottom, a little blanket, a little kitchen towel with, it is wet, bowl, and I've got my parts hanging. I've got my basket where I put my small parts in. I'm gonna close this back up. This is my setup for rusting my parts. Got a gallon of distilled water, or highly filtered water. You don't want to use just regular tap. It'll keep water particles and stuff like that on your finish that you're trying to keep from doing that. So I'm going to go get some 4/0 steel wool. I'm going to soak it in naphtha and let it dry out in the sun. I'm going to light this and have it at the ready. The small parts I'm boiling in the same distilled water on the oven. This is I'm about to rust blue this. It'll be 10 minutes in the steamer, 15 minutes on boil in the boiling water. So I'll check back with you and we will start the carding process. All right, 10 minutes of steaming this. You can see the steam coming out. We're steaming the barrel and the magazine tube. That's the only thing that needs to be steamed in here. Boiling the charging handle and a couple of small various pieces associated with that. So we'll give this 10 minutes. We'll give this 10 minutes of steaming this to rust blue this, and then we will card it off. So I just wanted you to see the process. All right, guys, when it's safe to handle parts because they've cooled off, then you can take your steel wool that has been soaked in naphtha and dry it out. And then you can start carding all this loose, the loose rust. I'm gonna try to show you. See, there's a little bit of water spotting and haze. You got to take all that down, and you're going to remove all the loose rust. I don't know if you can see that. I can't really see. All that, it's got to be uniform. So what we'll do is we'll take our steel wool, we'll just go down it, and we're breaking up all that loose rust. So you can see how just that one pass, on this mag tube made this nice and shiny. We'll do that 2 more times for a total of 3 times. The rusting application, the rusting application, the steaming, and then the carding. We'll do that 3 total times, and then we will be able to assemble this gun. I'm assuming you can see the original silver spot that was pulled out. I am spinning the barrel. You can see how there's some inconsistency in this application. Don't worry, there's a reason why we do this 3 or 4 times. We're gonna blend all that in. So now that I've got these carded off, now I'm gonna put the rust blue solution in, put it back in the damp box, and we'll start this process all over again. We'll do this 2 more times for a total of 3 times total. And we will eventually have this really dark black, and that's what the goal is. We may go blue, who knows? Like I said, the metal will tell us. So, all right, gonna put the second application of rust blue solution and start that now. All right, just a quick video.
And you see how this is the third or the second time. We're starting to get a little more consistent on our rust bluing. We still got some light steel areas we'll have to polish out. I'm gonna steel wool these, rust blue, steam, and then we'll be on our third application. All right, guys, 4 times we've applied the rust bluing solution. 3 times we've put it in the damp box and let it rust. 3 times we've also steamed or boiled parts, and 3 times we have carted off. We just finished the 3rd time, and now you should be able to see a lot more uniform, a lot more uniform. This is the mag tube. There was a lot of wear and tear on it from when David was feeding bullets down this tube. Same thing here. You should be able to see the fix where we sanded off the pitting, and so all of that should be uniform and smooth. We're about to put this in the oil bath, and we'll do this for 24 hours or 36. It's usually 36 because I usually put it in the evening and then come back and check it closer to the next morning or following evening. So we're about to dunk it, and I'll show you that process really quickly. All right, guys, we're in my garage on my ice chest. I've set up an oil dunking station where I just have some used motor oil, about 5 quarts. That's been, all the additives have been burned out of it, so that's why we're using it. I've got trash bags lining this up and to where it made a reservoir for me to dunk these parts in. What I do after I've rust blued, I actually submerge these. I'll just drop them in, and like I said, there's nothing fancy here, guys. I mean, it's literally, we'll just submerge this for the next 24 to 36 hours. With this cup, I will scoop up a little oil. I'm gonna get more than that, and I better let it drip right there. And then they'll just go into the bottom and to where they're situated and set. So now we've got to find a way to let that drip back into. Okay, so just a quick, let me show you what I've got going on, if I can, without unplugging my tripod. Okay, so I know it's not the best of light, but just bear with me. So I've got 2x4s that I've made into a rectangle. I don't remember the measurements. Long enough to put a 30-inch barrel, maybe a 32-inch barrel. Pretty long. 5 quarts of used motor oil. Nothing fancy. You don't have to overdo it. You can use kerosene if you desire. And I'm dunking the parts, and you need this step. It is so crucial after you get your rust blue, because you want it to be protected. You've got to oil it, and you want to lock in your uniform coverage. So that's why you do this. After 24 hours, the open metal pores will absorb in this oil, and it'll help push and keep rust from trying to absorb as well, and also stops the rusting process. And that's why we do this. So very crucial, very important is the last step, other than drying it off or wiping it down and assembling, and then giving a coat of Remington oil, which you just need to keep a coat of oil, gun oil, on it. So that's the process. All right, guys, barrel is finished drip drying. Now what we're going to do, we have the wonderful task of wiping this down with Remington gun oil, which we're going to do right now. This barrel is jet black. It looks so awesome. I think I showed y'all earlier, and it's just going to get better when we put this gun oil. And all we're going to do with this is just rub it on there. I mean, there's nothing to this. We want this to have this layer of rim oil everywhere, and then that's rust bluing in a nutshell. And then this will dry, and then it'll be, man, it'll be that's it. That's all it is to this. Okay, this needs to be documented for the record. I know why most people don't take these action bar assemblies apart, because I just had like 50 springs explode and just shoot like rockets all over my daggum gun room. I also had the unfortunate mistake of having my gun safe open, and I don't know, there's something in there that I heard it hitting and bouncing around, so I gotta find that. Long story short, don't take these action assemblies apart. Keep them complete and together, because that's what they're supposed to look like. But I have to change these bolts, this bolt buffer, which is that little caramel thing, khaki colored thing in there. And I wasn't going to necessarily show it, but we're here. So let me get this, find all my parts and get this back assembled. And also I was going to put this disconnector spring on here too, because the other one had kind of flared out and it was looking pretty rough. So you see how there's a lot of separation there. So that's why I was going to take that and do something with it. So, all right, we're going to put this back together, Lord willing. Oh my goodness, I don't necessarily want to do that again, but I got to, because I got to change this bolt buffer out. That took me about 45 minutes after I found the parts. It was a lot of springs in there, a lot of little tedious things. So I will definitely want to do a test fire and make sure everything's right. That's what we got to do next. Wish me luck. Okay, bolt buffer changed on this blued model. If you've done it once, it's not as bad. Okay, we are test firing the Marlin 60. Okay, pull the trigger, make sure nothing happens. It's on safe. Aiming at a safe spot. Bolt held open. I think we're good.
All right, guys, that's it. I hope you enjoyed what I put together. If you're still here, I know it was a lengthy video. These restoration videos do take a long time to put together, and it takes a long time to put them out because you're waiting on glue to dry, you're waiting on stain or finish to harden and cure, and then also you're waiting on parts to come in through the mail. And as you can see, this particular gun needed a few things. So anyway, thank you for making it this far, and thank you for checking me out. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate each and every single one of you for being here and enduring through this process. I know my videography skills aren't the best. I am learning. I'm trying to put together good quality content for you guys. That's why I'm doing this. I really want to put something together you guys will want to see and want to view. So glory be to God in all that I do. And thank you so much for being here. Really, genuinely thank you. Have a good rest of your day, and I hope that you know who your Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, is. If you don't, Rich, I'll be very happy to tell you about him.